taught me to learn. One thing he always said was to learn my craft, learn everything I could. And the second thing was I had a pastor who actually cared more about me than me giving to the church. You know, and today, integrity is really not there for the musicians, but I'm going to say it's not there for the musicians because it may not be there for the pastors. You know, the pastors could care, almost could care less per se, about what this person is doing as long as they're providing music. So it's just, it's on both sides, you know. And you got to have these pastors who are more concerned about that person, that musician is a soul. That's a person, that's a human being with needs outside of music as well. So just like you care for your members, I think you need to care for your musicians, and that will even help better train them, you know.
Well, that's true if the musician has been part of this particular house and has grown up and put some years in this particular house or place. But if someone is hiring you to do a job, if I go to Shotgun Baptist Church and they want me to do here's what the requirements are, then I say, okay, I can do it, and I really can't do it, I'm lying. I don't care how proficient I think I am. If I can't go in there and play praise 314, then they look at you like, you know, well, you know, so the whole dynamic changes.
I got two conversations going on and they're both very good.
Oh, good. Well, let's mix them.
They talking about compensation.
Yeah, we need to bring that in here.
I mean, no, but I'm
Tell them guys coming here.
No, as far as do you want a W-2 form, or do you want to be do contract work and then file your self-employment taxes yourself, that kind of thing. I've never liked W-2 forms, you know, and I don't do it. So I let them.
You want my seat?
I'm a contractor. That way, because if you're just doing straight employment, then you travel to and from church, you can't deduct. But if you do self-employment, you can deduct the expenses, blah 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 blah. W-2, you deduct. There is no tax deduction for employee. You know, just being an employee.
Well, you can. You know,
but you got to be creative. We don't need to be creative.
Well, I meant a W-9. You're right. W-2, right?
No, the W-9. Okay.
You get the W-2. That's all she wrote. To the summers across America. You gotta have a good account.
Church numbers.
Jeff Lowe, Michael Fisher, Willie Cookie Brown, Lonnie Christian. Oh my Lord! You know what? Let's go around the room. It's just like this is like Mount Rushmore. Look at all the faces.
We always got to remember where it comes from. Love y'all.
Was Lincoln on Mount Rushmore?
I don't know, but they're gonna put Clinton on there soon.
We need a lighting guy.
So what was the question? I don't think they heard the question.
Who asked the question?
We just kind of. They said you were talking about money.
We was just kind of talking, Bishop Davis.
About what was the question?
You ain't know I'm a prophet?
What's
You know I'm a
lacking
prophet.
in musicians today, the younger musicians today? What's lacking?
You know what's like money.
Money ain't the problem.
It's probably one of the main things is reverence. Yeah. They don't revere anything. They don't respect. You know what I mean? And they're talented, but they're like hybrids. They're not original. They're copycats. But if you show them something once, they'll play it back better than you played it. Right. And so that gives them, they think that gives them parity with us. Right. Guys who've been doing this for 20 years. Actually, guys who paved the way for them to do what they did.
You're talking right.
And, you know, I think that for a long time, we were intimidated by even trying to help them. So the gap got bigger and bigger and bigger. Now we want to help them, and they don't want to listen. Because they think they're just as good as we are.
You're talking right.
And until we really step to them, probably have to step to them and say, okay, you think you could really play? All right, let's go. You right there, you right there. And it's probably not the nicest thing to say, but that's probably the only way that they understand respect at this point.
Because if you can't blaze them, they don't want to respect you.
Respect at this.
You
at
know
this
another
point.
way they can learn that respect, and I got my experience from Jeff and this guy right here, Carlton. Once you get placed in a venue that's bigger than something you've ever been on before in your life, you learn real quick
Yeah.
what it means to be a supporting musician and really how well you know your instrument and your job. You know what I'm saying? And that, man, when we did that Azusa, oh my, I never in my life called Pearson, and Karen Clark and Darryl Coley. And that thing scared the mess out of me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've never been around such huge production, you know, but I thought I was a player because everybody in my neighborhood told me I was dope. But now I'm looking at a sea of thousands of people, and in a city where there's tons of musicians and other people qualified.
Put the camera on yourself.
That's a reality check. That's a reality check.
Well, you know, a lot of these guys, a lot of the church dudes, they get these R&B gigs, so they're playing in front of 2,000, 2,000 people. Some of them are doing arena dates. Sorry that they are. They're doing these big dates. And they're coming home thinking they're right. Even though the band sounds horrible. I've heard some of these bands, they sound horrible.
Yeah.
But, you know, they're making money. Even at the NAMM show, I was at the NAMM show this past weekend, and to watch these guys and the mentality that they have about their craft and about working and about getting free stuff. You know, they don't think about integrity or anything like that. They just concerned with the next gig, how I'm getting paid again. And how I can move up the ladder to be the guy with all the hype. You know, there was a lot of love there, but it was like just drummers. It was maybe 100 drummers there, 100 church drummers there at all levels. And I must say that there was a lot of love from those guys. But outside of that, it's kind of strange. Kind of strange. And it's like it is at home for us.
And that's kind of like what is going on right here, you know. Everybody here has known everybody for like 20 plus years.
I know Danny for 2 years.
But you know, everybody has a love and a respect and, you know, an admiration for each other as a person first, and then as a musician, because, you know, if we didn't like somebody, we knew somebody was off, we didn't have anything to do with that person, you know. But if you saw that person and they genuinely just came and humbly did what they did, and they did it for, you know, for the Lord, we connected, you know. Cliff and I connected, Mike Fisher and I connected, you know, and most of the guys in this room, I'm sure we all met playing somewhere, you know. We saw somebody somewhere. I met Mike in like 1985. You know, he was playing with Donnie, I was playing solo. We just hooked up, you know. Gerald Hayward, he was playing with me before he was doing the Hezekiah thing. I used to call him to get out of the bed to go to school, you know, to high school, because, you know, God bless him what he's doing now, but if he wasn't doing that now and didn't get the diploma, he'd be in trouble. That's true. So it's that kind of thing. You know, we know each other, we care about each other, and I think that's the kind of stuff that's missing from this new generation. Everybody's about me, get what I can get, and look at my resume and keep it moving. What resume?
I had an interesting conversation. We got to take some of the blame, because the young kids heard us talking about getting paid.
Absolutely.
Because we weren't.
And we weren't getting paid.
These days they are, and they're not doing nothing.
But very good point. But
we gotta leave. We're like the absentee father.
What they heard is what they went after.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so that has been their bravado. Yo, I gotta get paid.
And even what they didn't hear, they assumed that's what we were about.
Exactly.
So we've got to now do something and say, this is what you need to do. And it's great because we can hit it on all aspects. We can hit it keyboards, drums, bass, sound, recording, everything.
Okay, so my question is this. You're saying we have a responsibility now, right? But is it just something that comes with youth? No matter what we tell them, are all young people growing up as musicians going to go through that phase, no matter what we say?
Well, they're out of control.
Well,
I wanted
now.
to say, I definitely can add to this conversation.
What's your
I
name?
have